this video, we are going to be looking at the order of operations. Now, we use the order of operations when we are simplifying expressions with multiple terms, and we all use that same order to ensure that we are arriving at the same solutions. So depending on where you start within an operation, you are within an expression, you might get a different answer. So the order of operations ensures that we're all solving the problems in the same way. Okay, so let's say we have something like this. 2 minus 5 in parentheses squared minus 4 over 2 plus 3 times 5. I'm going to start with the parentheses. Okay, so anytime you have parentheses or other grouping symbols, that's where you start. So I'm going to draw here some brackets because that's another set of grouping symbols that you might see. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to scan my expression. Okay, I see here are the parentheses, so I'm going to start there. So I'm going to do what is inside the parentheses first. So 2 minus 5, I'm going to simplify that step, and that's going to be a negative 3. Okay, now I'm going to then bring down everything else that's in my expression. I'm going to rewrite it below next to the thing that I have just simplified. And you need to rewrite it step by step by step every single time. All right, so the next step in the order of operations is exponents and powers. So we mean, like if you have a little something like this, a square or cubed to something, that is what you're going to do next. So again, I'm going to scan my expression and find, here's an exponent. So that's the part I'm going to do next. So negative 3 squared, so that means negative 3 times negative 3, which that gives us a positive 9. And we haven't gone over exponent rules or, multiplying with negative numbers rules yet, so that may not make sense to you right now, but it will when we get there. Okay, and then again, I am going to bring down the whole rest of that expression, and I'm going to rewrite it below, like so. All right, so the next step, this is the one that I often see students have the most trouble with. This step, multiply and divide. Now, I think the reason why this can be tricky is because students assume that because multiply comes before divide when you use the acronym PEMDAS, they think that you always multiply before you divide, but that's not actually true. What you're going to do is multiplication and division, you can think of it as one step, and you always go from left to right. Meaning you scan your expression and you look for all of the multiplication and division, and then you do them in order from left to right, despite the fact that sometimes division might actually come before multiplication. All right, so if I scan this, I can see there's some multiplication here. And I can see we have some sneaky division right here. This fraction, that's a sneaky division. So I'm going to do that first. I am not going to do that multiplication first, because if I go from left to right, what comes first? The division. It comes before the multiplication, so I'm going to do that first. So that sneaky division is 4 divided by 2, which is going to be 2. And I am going to rewrite and bring down the rest of that expression. I'm going to bring all of that down. So I'm going to bring down the 9 minus plus 3 times 5. And then I'm going to do this part, the multiplication. And notice that we're using the algebraic symbol for multiplication, the little dot, as opposed to the multiplication symbol that you're used to seeing. Either one is going to be fine for expressions like this. And then we have 3 times 5. That's going to be 15. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and write it with this color so that you can see it better. All right, and then we have the last step, addition and subtraction. Now, this is going to be the same approach that you would use for the multiplication and division, meaning you are going to do those steps from left to right. So it doesn't matter what order they're in the sense that you don't do addition before subtraction unless that's what comes first, from left to right. From left to right, always. So I'm gonna look at this expression. I have 9 minus 2 plus 5. So I have addition and subtraction here. So I'm just going to go from left to right. So 9 minus 2, well, it's subtraction first. So don't let it fool you that addition is listed first in the acronym. I still do that one first. Okay, so 9 minus 2, that's gonna be 7. And I bring down my plus 15. Write that down. And now I'm going to do my last step, 7 plus 15, which is going to give me 22. Ta-da! And that's how you do the order of operations.